Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Camilleri, a teenage girl with a disability that prevents her from appearing in sunlight. And this isn't a vampire movie. It's a love story. And it stars Bella Thorne and Patrick Schwarzenegger, and it's called Midnight Sun. Let's take a look at the trailer.
I have this reoccurring dream. I feel the warmth of the sun on my skin and the comfort of arms around me. And I want to stay there forever. But that would be impossible. I have a severe sensitivity to sunlight. Doctor appointments became a part of my routine.
It's not going to fall into remission, and every year the risk becomes more serious.
So I spend all my time indoors, behind special windows, sleeping during the day and staying up all night, and playing music every chance I get. Waiting, so I'll keep breathing.
Hey.
What should I have said? Hey, I'm Katie Price. I've watched you outside my window for the past 10 years, and I've been in love with you, stalking you every minute.
This is what Taylor Swift does. She has awkward interactions with boys, and then she just writes amazing songs about it.
I don't understand how we've never met. I've probably skated by your house every day on the way to practice. Hey, you wouldn't want to do something sometime, would you?
I'm really busy during the day, but I could be free at night.
What does Katie Price want to do?
There's so many things I want to do.
I've been looking at the stars tonight.
Wait, where are you taking me?
Your first live show.
That was literally one of the best things ever.
Right?
I'll be a dreamer till the day I die.
You coming?
They say, oh, have a good day, yo.
I am not comfortable with him not knowing.
I'm going to. I just need a little longer of being someone more than just a disease.
This isn't something you can just not tell me.
I'm so sorry.
But we're not the couple who doesn't try.
I don't want a never-ending life. I just want to be alive.
Having someone,
While I'm here.
that's the best part.
And I don't want to see another night lost inside a lonely life. While I'm here, I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. But the heart still rattles, the heart still rattles. Oh.
I've waited my whole life to feel this.
Everybody, please welcome Bella Thorne.
Hey! Ho, 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 ho.
Hey-oh.
Oh, 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 hey-oh.
Welcome to Build, guys. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's talk about Midnight Sun, where dreams come true at night. What made you guys want to do this film, and who signed on first? Excuse me.
Well, I signed on first, and when I read the script, one of the main things was definitely Katie's relationship with her father. Growing up with a single mom raising 4 kids, and the connection that she has with her dad, I've always wanted that myself. And the scene when you guys haven't seen the movie yet, right?
No,
Oh,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
okay.
Maybe some have.
Well, there is this scene in the movie where I'm trying to get my dad to sign on to a dating app, and I've imagined that so many times with my own mother in real life. And Scott and I, our wonderful director, agreed on so many things about the character, and then we met Pat.
And they met me.
And Pat, when you signed on, did you guys hang out before starting filming or anything? Did you guys kind of try to get to know each other before you actually had to do these scenes where you have chemistry?
Yeah, so before I signed on, I had the audition, then the director's read, then the chemistry read, which a chemistry read.
Chemistry read,
yeah, which is when the person that's already attached, Bella Thorne, you go and read with them and see what your chemistry is, see if you can hit it off or maybe you don't. And Bella was so awesome because she met me before the chemistry read. So we had been friendly beforehand, but she actually came and met me and practiced all the scenes with me, went over the lines for an hour, helped me.
You really wanted him to get the part.
She must have. I mean, people don't really do that. And it was so cool for her to do that and take time out of her day. And right before the chemistry read, which is, she already had a packed day. So I'm forever thankful that she did that for me and helped me feel comfortable in the room, and then we just became really close throughout filming. She's so much fun and amazing to work with. So
I love you, Pat.
love you too.
When you have to do a chemistry read, do you go in and think to yourselves like, well, I'm just going to make the chemistry if I have to, because I want this part. So I'm going to try to make all of the chemistry in here.
Yeah, but
wonder about that.
Chemistry's chemistry. Like, you really can
It's
tell
not-
when you hit it
it's-
off with the person
it's
or when
not really
you
a
don't.
one-way thing. It's like.
Do we like each
people,
other or
yeah.
do we not?
Yeah.
Obviously, I
guys like
wanted
each
the
other.
role, but that's the thing is hanging out with someone for an hour right before doing that. It changes how you feel when you walk into the room because like this, you have the director, you have the casting directors, you have the producers, you have the person that's putting you on tape, you have the actress, you have everyone in the room, and when you're there and have to perform, it's nerve-wracking. So for her to do that for me was amazing.
Yeah. And Bella, your character's a musician in the film. Where did the songs come from, and did you have any part of that?
In writing them, no, I did not. There was actually one song in the movie originally when I signed on, and I'm like, used to be not a very good singer at all. I really did not like singing. So I did not want to do the singing aspect of it. But I understood that the character, it's a big part of her story arc is the singing. So I was like, oh, one song, how bad can I really be, realistically? And then I got in the studio and I kept telling our director, like, I'm really bad. Like, just want to let you know this is not going to sound good. And then I came out of the studio and he was like, you're a liar. That is not true. You totally can sing. So let's add on 6 more songs and have you learn guitar in a week, which never picking up an instrument before in my life, I was like, this is straight ridiculous. How am I even gonna do this at all? Oh my goodness. But I tried. And actually, I'm so thankful because I would not have gotten back into singing if it wasn't for Midnight Sun, and now I do so much music, and I have a song coming out on the 30th too, a single, yeah.
Because of this movie, you think? There you go.
Yeah, we can clap it up.
Yay.
There we go.
Yay.
Because of this movie, you started sort of doing your own music again?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Wow. And
Yeah.
are you playing guitar as well?
I play bass now.
That's kind of
Yeah, but yeah, just like, I'm not good at acoustic, like, what I play in the movie is a little bit harder for me to play in real life, whereas bass, I'm just starting and learning. So, yeah, and I direct a lot of the music videos that I do as well, so it's quite
She's being
fun.
pretty modest. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat.
Patrick, why don't you tell us about your character? When we meet him in the film, he's pretty he's somewhat unhappy with his life and where he is.
Yeah, definitely. I think this character, Charlie, kind of on the surface and on the outside, we're introduced to him as this kind of great-looking guy that's in the high school that everyone in the school kind of likes him. He's popular. He's on the swim team. He's a champion swimmer. But like you said, he's lost. He's broken. It's a character that's worked his butt off every day towards swimming and getting a scholarship to Berkeley, which is an amazing school, and then it all gets squashed once he gets his injury. Loses his scholarship, loses his dreams of becoming a swimmer. So we're introduced to this character at kind of a broken time. And while he's broken in that kind of scenario and she's having her other, life of isolation kind of broken in that situation, and as the two meet and the relationship evolves, they do so much for each other, and that's kind of how it's so beautiful about the relationship and how they flourish together, and they do so much for each other. So, yeah, like you said, he is broken, but as the film continues to go on and progresses, he learns so much about himself and regains that confidence so that he can refocus on his dreams and go back in the pool and focus on what he loves, which is her character. So.
And Bella, you mentioned working with a dad in the film. Your dad is played by the great Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle.
What was it like working with Rob Riggle?
He's amazing. We literally love Rob so much, and I'm just so happy for everyone to see him in this role, because coming from the background of comedy myself, it's like nobody wants to see you do anything else. Everyone's like, no, comedy, here's your box. Don't you dare step out of it, because we will not support you at all. And for Rob, it's like there is no denying what a beautiful performance he puts on in this movie. I'm so excited for everyone to see how much depth he has to him. He's not just a funny guy. But we had the most amazing time. And what I really respected is he put in his contract to make sure he could have Halloween off to spend it with his kids. And I think that is awesome. I really respect that. It's a little hard to do that kind of stuff. A lot of actors don't.
The two of you have to sort of present a backstory with each other. I mean, you've really been living together for your character's entire life, really only having experiences with each other, with the exception of your one friend. How did the two of you sort of go about that? Do you just let the script do the work, or do you talk about that backstory?
Yeah, I mean, as far as not knowing each other at all before, I mean, we obviously knew each other a little bit, so in the film that didn't work. But the kind of fun part, at least from my side, is as the relationship develops in the movie and our characters develop and the relationship flourishes, so did ours in real life. And outside.
Buds now?
What?
You guys buds now?
No, we don't hang out at all.
Hater. Joking, obviously.
There's your headline, guys.
Yeah, there it is. Gosh, I'm really gonna be in trouble tomorrow. But no, we just like as you, like the audition was like when you go there on your first day of set, it's a little more awkward, nerve-wracking, and working 2 months with each other every day for however long hours in a row, and it's
working
night
such
shoots for most of the time.
hours, yeah.
You become really close, and like I said before, you either have chemistry or you don't, and we really enjoyed hanging out and getting closer and becoming great friends, and I think that showed on the film as well, that we really enjoyed hanging out and putting these date nights in the dating culture and their relationship onto the screen, because we became way closer.
You want to jump on that?
No.
Oh, okay. I meant the backstory with you and Rob Riggle's character, and your dad. You guys are isolated together. Before the movie starts, you've been essentially isolated together for like your entire life. So what was it like kind of developing that backstory with him?
Well, it was amazing for me, definitely, because like I said, have always wanted to have a father in my life still. And with Rob, I got to like really know him and just kind of bond with him and create a connection. And I don't know how it was for him, but for me it was wonderful because I feel like I had a dad again for 2 months. And that was nice.
Both of you sort of grew up somewhat in the industry, right? I would say, what is it like when you have to portray sort of other people your age who haven't had the same kind of background as you?
Well, I think that most people can relate in the sense that there's definitely those times that you're just wish you're a different person, and we get to do that. Mm-hmm. And that is not a thing that everyone can say. I mean, we really, like, at least for me, I play these characters, and then these characters work their way into my life afterward and become me as well. It's so odd. Like, I adapt to the mannerisms and the things I do from these characters, and then they just, like, it's always kind of like, what Bella are you gonna meet? You never know.
What Bella is this right now?
You really never know.
It's hard for me to talk over the other Bellas.
I miss the old Bella. Straight on the old Bella.
What about you, Patrick? Going back to the question about your background and portraying people.
Yeah.
These
for
aren't like
example,
LA kids. These are like
no,
yeah.
of course, and I think it goes back to kind of the script and kind of the scenarios of where you're shooting and who you're with and being in that environment. To speak on another thing, like I just did this miniseries called The Long Road Home, which was a miniseries for National Geographic where I was portraying a soldier. It was a true story. And that was just completely opposite of something like Midnight Sun. And it's like nothing like a kid from LA, like you're saying. But kind of like for that, we got to live on the military base in Fort Hood for 3.5 months. We got to live with the military members. So the films a lot of the time puts you in the position where it helps create the environment. And again, that's kind of what happened with this role as well. We shot up in Vancouver in a very small, hour and a half outside of Vancouver, I should say. And it was mostly just me and her. I mean, we're mostly the characters, and then Rob Riggle and stuff. So putting you in that environment and taking you out of that, like you said, kid in LA is it's important.
What'd you guys do for fun when you weren't shooting?
Eat.
Bike rides.
Eat?
Bike rides.
We ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
What kind of food did you guys normally eat? What was your thing?
So much.
Everything.
Everything, anything.
Vancouver have a specific delicacy?
Vancouver's food is amazing. The sushi, the Chinese
Their hot
food.
dogs.
Do they do poutine in Vancouver as well, or is that
Poutine,
just they do
yes,
that?
the French-
Okay,
the
they have
French fries
poutine.
with all the whatever on it. Vancouver's beautiful.
I'm so.
It's amazing. They have the #1 gelato place in the world.
Vancouver is.
Vancouver. They got rated while we were there. I went
had
all
no
the
idea.
time. Yep, Bella Gelato. It was really good.
Bella Gelato.
Yeah, Bella Gelato.
Any affiliation? Obviously not, probably.
I can't say.
That's the other Bella we're not allowed to talk about. That Bella, yeah. Let's get some questions from our audience. Who's a question?
Let's do it.
Hi. My question is, what was your favorite memory that you guys both had while on set?
Greatest memory? Well, probably the most fun day we got to do was this ice cream scene where I take her on a date to an ice cream store. I love ice cream, by the way. Obviously, I'm talking about gelato, ice cream, food. And everyone's like, who is this guy?
What's your favorite ice cream?
Well, I like to mix it up. For example, the seasonal special when I was there, I remember was banana bread. And that's like my favorite. I love everything bananas.
Banana.
But we got to go to this ice cream store when it was closed because her friend in the movie, the friend's boyfriend, the person that she's getting with, works at an ice cream store. And he brings us there, or she brings us there, and we get to just like eat as much, and we get to do it. You know, that's the fun part about acting. You get to do these things, and you get to go and raid the ice cream store. So it was really fun. But best memory, I mean, we just did everything together, literally everything. Mornings, breakfast, coffees, you know, jacuzzi, going on a walk, a bike ride, everything.
Yeah.
Movies.
Yeah. We literally, we got lucky. We got super lucky that we actually get along because, I mean, you never know who you're going to work with. And when you got to be macking on each other all the time and literally be spending every minute of the day together. Also, during the more strange hours of 5 a.m., 4 a.m., and you're just together all night, it's like, man, there's a lot of silly things that are said at 4 a.m.
Yeah, night shoots can get kind of weird.
Yeah, things got a little weird, that is for sure. We made a lot of jokes and could not stop laughing on some scenes. We just...
You all right?
We would get each other started, and we would just keep laughing, and then we'd be like, okay, now we are serious because we are crying in this scene. This is a very emotional scene right now.
So you'd go from laughing hysterically to crying hysterically in the scenes.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah.
That's a night shoot. That's about right.
Yeah.
Let's get another question. What do we got?
Right here.
Who?
Oh, sorry, right here.
Sorry.
Oh, either one.
Jumped the gun, sorry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Hey, Snapchat,
Hey.
Instagram, whatever you are.
Are you on Snapchat or Instagram?
I'm
what do you?
just taking a video.
Oh. Hi, Apple Video.
My friends won't believe me.
Okay, believe her.
Yeah, I guess.
real.
So my question is for Bella. It's, I guess, so you've been playing a lot of like serious, or I guess kind of scary or funny roles, or I guess so like in Now You See Me, or I guess You See Me or You Get Me. You played like a very scary personality, and in Duff you played a mean role. I guess, how did you know that you wanted to play, like, I guess a sad or a more like heartfelt role?
Well, it really depends on the script. It's actually interesting for me because like the genres that I watch are just like horror. I mostly just watch horror ever since I was a little girl. Actually, like I never watched Disney films growing up. Like,
What's your favorite horror movie?
I love The Babadook. I love The Strangers. I love The Grudge, especially when it came out. The Shining, obviously, if we want to go like, you know, yeah. But anyways, it's mostly when I just read a script. If a character is like enticing to me, and I'm like, man, I feel like I need to do her justice. Like, this needs to be me on the screen. I will bring this character to life in the best way possible, the best way that I can. And that is when I know that I really want to fight for a role, that I really want something. Even if it's not the genre that I really like or watch, it's like mainly just because of the character. And then I'll read some scripts where it's really great, and then I'm like, but the character isn't enough. She needs like more depth and more layers. And then there's always like that that outlook on it too.
Next question.
Hey Bella. Hi Patrick. How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. So my question is, like for the two of you, I wanted to
We're
know
recording it too. Look at that.
I want to know what's the best piece of advice you guys received throughout your acting careers, and who was it from?
The advice that I take is from my dad, and that's kind of if you could close your eyes and you could think, you could have the best dream, what would it be? Like, where would you be in life? And to go and write that down and put it next to your bedside and then use every day to try to make it, you know, steps closer to making that a reality. And I never knew the importance of writing down my goals until 3 years ago. I decided to do it. I was like, New Year, January 1st, I'm going to do it. Looked up a template, and it broke it down into, you know, certain sections, I should say, and I wrote it down, and I put it next to my bedside, and it was single-handedly the best decision that I ever made in my life. And waking up next to mine, I have it on a big whiteboard next to my bed, and seriously, just, it sounds kind of funky, but if you wake up and you see where you want to go and what you want to do today to get closer to that next step, and visualizing it and seeing how to get yourself there, it helped me astronomically, and just finding ways when I didn't have something in my day. I was like, okay, well, this is what I can use right now to go towards that, and it was like the biggest help for myself.
I agree with.
He thinks it's funny.
No, I'm laughing at her phone. I'm not laughing at that.
okay.
That is something that I do as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I do mine with photos. I have a goals
No,
board
you're
with
right.
a bunch of photos that I like to cut and craft up on there. Also, just like notebooking, man. When you have a notebook, your life changes. Things around you change. People view you differently when you have a notebook and you're constantly being like, what did you say? Hold on. Say that again? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's written down now. Now it's really in my brain.
So you treat everybody like a patient in an asylum?
Is that what it looks like?
I think I have time for one more.
Hi. I was wondering how y'all's past relationships affected how you portrayed these characters in the film.
That is an amazing jacket.
Thank you.
Wow. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
You just look really great. Past relationships affect how we play our characters? Well, I think it's really just like past experience, not necessarily. Just past experiences in general is like, for me, like for Katie, I feel like most people can pull from an experience or relate to her in a sense, even though not everyone has XP. Obviously, it's 1 in a million. But it's like this sense of wanting to be someone else, wanting to be someone different, watching your whole life outside your window, and it feels like everyone is living your life but you. And also the sense of wanting to be more than what she thinks she is. She thinks she's a disease because that's what people treat her like. And I feel like for most of us, there's something that we feel like sets us aside or makes us weird or makes us a bit different. And we like to kind of push that far back so that people don't see that when they look at us. And that's why Katie doesn't tell Charlie in the film. So even there, I feel like is just very relatable. Like it's a very easy emotion to kind of find because it's lying right there, I think, for most of us. I just like looking at you.
Thanks. I like looking at you too. Sorry we're so weird, guys.
Past relationships or past experience affect your performance?
I don't think that it did with this. Again, I really tried to just kind of work with Bella and, do the stuff that was on the page and use our relationship, like I said, in real life and how we weren't really like that romantically involved. And then we became so throughout the script. So not off the film. We weren't, but...
What?
not off of the.
I think there was an accidental innuendo that someone picked up on out there. That's what it sounded like to me.
Okay. No, I was
Accidental,
trying to say,
though. That's what I.
Yeah. Never mind. Forget it all. Next question.
I think that was going to be the last question. I don't really want to end there. So, but guys, the film is really great. It's really beautiful. When can people see Midnight Sun?
You can literally see it
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Tonight.
In
March
theaters.
23rd it comes out, but we have Thursday night screenings tonight.
Fantastic. Everybody give Bella and Patrick a round of applause.
Thank you.
See it.